it's Charisma over at Charisma's Corner again, and we are in week 6 of the Charmed Sampler. And week 6 is this pretty little pieced row in the week 6, which is our last week before we start doing construction. And so this is a great thing because I chose to use a layer cake for the demo purposes on this. And I took all of my layer cake squares that were left and I cut them into 2.5-inch pieces so that I would have a variety here, because in my layer cake I didn't have a lot of variety. There was a lot of 3 squares printed on each print. So with that, I didn't have a lot of variety, and I really like to have a lot of variety for that row. But also I thought I'll just go ahead and cut everything up and I'll take the rest and use it for a scrappy binding. So I'm really not going to waste any of this layer cake because there would have been some left and whatever else. So now I'm just going to add it and make a scrappy binding when I'm done and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Right? So now that I've cut all these up, I'm going to sew them into pairs. And so I have some sewn here, but I'm just going to show you what they look like. So sewing them in pairs, and I'm going to go ahead and just sew 2 of their pairs together so we can get a group of 4. Okay, and now that we have that done, I'm just going to go ahead and press these. And I've just been pressing them all to one side because really when I was putting this together, I was flipping the rows, you know, right side and left side to put them together anyway. So I'll just nestle the seams and force them to go and worry about that later. Okay, so now we're just going to take our 2 things here and cut those sections so that we can start sewing those rows together. And I'm just going to go ahead and do 1 at a time. Actually, I'll do 2 at a time. I'll just stack these right sides together here. I think it'll be good enough. Okay, and then I'm just going to start cutting these. I'm going to mark it on my 2.5-inch. Okay, and now we have all of these little strips that we need to sew together. So now I am just going to play with these and flip them, play with them, kind of figure out where I can mix them up the most, and just start sewing these rows together to create that pieced row right here. Okay? And after all that sewing, we finally have our huge row done. So let me go over here and press it. And I love all of the variety. We have a lot of texture here. Stripes, dots, chevrons, leaves, swirls. Isn't that fabulously scrappy? I just love it. Okay, so we have row 6 done. Thank you for joining me for week 6. Next week is all about construction and putting it together to create the charmed sampler. So join me again next week and we'll see ya. Blessings!